It is Rhema, continuing with this Wednesday morning, Worship Wednesday. Some music there from Ryan Ellis and Brandon Lake, son of David. You with Tom and Kat, and if you'd like to hear a song for this Worship Wednesday, of course, let us know. You can text us, 8168 is the number. Just start your text with the keyword Rhema.
Now, October is Baby Loss Awareness Month, and many people across the nation lit a candle on International Pregnancy and Infant Loss Day on October the 15th. And it provides an opportunity for parents, families and whānau around New Zealand to come together and remember the lives of their babies who have died, no matter what their gestation, length of life or how they died. And in New Zealand, it is estimated that between 7,500 to 14,750 miscarriages occur every year, but it's not often talked about. And October is the month where people break the silence and acknowledge the heartbreak that is happening too often right now. And the hashtag Standing Silent is used, and it means many things to bereaved parents. The silence when no heartbeat is heard during an ultrasound, or the lack of a baby's cry during birth, or the silence and the inability to find words following a diagnosis of a life-limiting medical condition in your baby. There is so much silence associated with pregnancy and infant loss, but someone who is breaking the silence and a family that are sharing their story is Ashley Higham and her husband, and she joins us with her husband Isaac on the show this morning. Kia ora, Ashley and Isaac. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Well, it's great to have you join us on the show. And so as we reflect, tell us why awareness of baby loss is so important, at this time, to remember this as we reflect this month.
Oh, well, for me, I think baby loss is important to talk about, to make it less taboo for people who have lost their babies, to feel free to say their name and share their stories, and to be able to help people who haven't lost a baby know or understand what you can do or say to people who have lost a baby. It's hugely important to remember babies that have been lost, no matter their age or gestation, because from the moment you see Sorry, I'm probably going to cry.
It's okay.
From the moment you see those two lines on a pregnancy test, you you've already started thinking about your future, wondering what your baby's going to be like, what personality they're going to be like, and you've already you're planning your future, and then no matter what gestation you lose your baby, all of those hopes and dreams come crashing down and get wiped away. And it's just important that people know that they can talk about people's babies who have been lost, because they are their children, and we do want to talk about our babies.
And you have this beautiful way of sharing your story. You've started an Instagram, well, it was a while ago, you actually opened up an Instagram account to honour your daughter that passed away, Goldie, and it's called Goldie's Garden. And I've been following your journey, and it's so beautiful the way you've been treasuring the memories. But I'd love to talk about your faith, because you guys are people of God, you love Jesus, and I've seen that throughout this time that you've been through, this tragic time. But how did your faith in God shape the way that you dealt with this loss?
Well, from a few years ago, I've always said to Isaac, if anything happens to us, whatever it may be, if something bad happens to us, we need to make a decision now that we're going to turn to God and not away from God. And then I guess that's exactly what happened. We found out she didn't have a heartbeat, and we instantly turned to God. We had people praying all around New Zealand, people praying and fasting and believing that for her to be born alive. And obviously she wasn't born alive, but for what it was, losing our daughter, we ended up having the best week you could ask for. Like, God blessed us in so many ways that week, from having a doctor let us go home and birth Goldie at home, because we had given birth to our son at home, and she was we were planning on having a home birth with her. So our midwife has said it was extremely unheard of that a doctor would let us birth her at home. To, like, we didn't have a day without her. Like, even when she got cremated, we got her the very next day. Like, just my birth was almost pain-free, and I just, looking back now, I know 100% that was just the Holy Spirit in the room with us at that time. I don't remember, but I've been told I was singing. We had worship music playing the whole time, and I've been told that I was worshiping God in the middle of labour. What about you?
Yeah, and we also asked God, if nothing else, we would like miracles to come from this situation. And we had a group of friends, some of them trying for up to sort of 6 years unsuccessfully getting pregnant, and our prayer was that
through Goldie
that, you know, that there would be miracles like that.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, those friends are pregnant, and actually due any day now. And
and some of our friends that weren't even trying got pregnant, and they blame me for praying for them. And we also, like, just the fact that we know that Goldie is in heaven. You know, people lose people, and everyone says, oh, you know, they're in a better place, they're in heaven. But we knew 100% that she is in heaven. She is with God. She's home. She's happy. And we will see her again. And God, you know, God's all around us. And I just always see, like, imagine him walking around holding Goldie in his arms. So she's always with us as well.
That's beautiful. Now, I understand that, you know, Goldie was born sleeping at 36 weeks, and you have a son, Trevor, who is 2.5. Is that right?
Yeah.
And your story being shared on your Instagram platform is inspiring so many people. And what you've shared today is just incredible, that kind of faith, and hearing how you're praying for others and interceding for others. So what do you hope people listening right now will receive from you sharing your story about Goldie? What message would you like them to get right now?
I just want her, like her short little life, to mean something. And for anybody who's, you know, like, God doesn't let bad people wonder, like, why God lets bad things happen. And I don't think I've been angry at God at all through all of this. God didn't make this happen. He didn't flick a switch and say, you know, I'm going to let Goldie go. We prayed and believed that she would be born alive. And I wholeheartedly, like, I know that God, if it was his plan, she would have been born alive. He would have started her heart again, and she would have been born alive, because he can do that. He's the God of the impossible. The fact that she wasn't born alive tells me that God has a greater plan for her life, with her being in heaven, than for her to be here on earth. And so I just, we want her life and her story to bring people to God, so that, you know, people, any chance I get to talk about Goldie, I want to share everything. And just, everyone's like, how did you get through that? I'm like, wouldn't have been able to do it without God. He literally carried us through that week, and is still carrying us now. So we just want all our glory to go to God, and we just want her story to point straight to him.
And I think Also, I'd hate for our relationship with God to be conditional, like just because we didn't get our own way. I'm not gonna, walk away. I'll just trust that God knows more than I do, and we will meet her again one day.
Yeah.
Well, Baby Loss Awareness Month this month, and on the show talking to Ashley and Isaac Higham about Goldie, her story and her story being shared and the impact of that story. And Ashley, it just occurs to me that there will be many people throughout the country and perhaps listening at the moment that will be resonating with what you're saying. There'll be people who are facing it without hope in God as well, in all different circumstances and unique circumstances. So if people want to engage with you on social media, your Instagram page, to follow the story, an opportunity to connect as you share Goldie's story, where do they go?
So her Instagram page is Goldie's Garden with an underscore at the end of it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, we really appreciate you taking the time to share your story and indeed Goldie's story, and a very personal story. But, as we reflect on these lives and what they mean, really appreciate your time on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.